And we're now joined here with James Fagan, outstanding defensive lineman from Hampton University. James, I appreciate you taking time.
Thank you for taking me. Thank you for talking to me, man. I'm here. I appreciate you letting me on.
Well, listen, I don't know to call you an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You played both, man, and you played them around.
Yeah.
The last time I saw you was down at the HBCU Legacy Bowl when you were playing defensive lineman, and I remember texting a buddy of mine like, man, he has the off the bus look. He's tough to move off the spot. He can be a one gap penetrator. Then I dig a little bit more to your background after the event, and I'm like, oh, you played on the offensive line too. So
Yeah.
take us through that, man. What goes into playing on both sides of the line of scrimmage? Like, how does one help the other, and so on and so forth?
Actually, I mean, playing both was amazing. They're both hard positions to play. Honestly, I believe that the trenches is the hardest part of the game. But
Right.
definitely, playing the offensive line gives an advantage at being a defensive lineman, and then vice versa, playing defensive line gives an advantage as an offensive lineman. I now know what if I'm playing offensive line, I now know specifically what a defensive lineman is working on, trying to do, what I'm saying, to get to the quarterback, and that's vice versa either way. So it definitely helped me become a better athlete within the trenches.
Now, you also were able to participate at the HBCU Combine, which took place a week prior to the HBCU Legacy Bowl. What was your experience like there, and what was some of the feedback you got from scouts?
I think all scouts were just surprised that I switched from offensive line to defensive line and played both. That's the biggest thing about me, just being versatile within the trenches of being an athlete. But the experience was definitely great. I was definitely excited to be there and be a part of the first HBCU Combine and the first HBCU Legacy Bowl. It really means a lot to me, and I was just honored and appreciated and humbled to be able to attend it.
Now, the Legacy Bowl was a really interesting week. It was the last All Star game before everyone got back into training and before the combine and all the pro days that we're seeing. In your opinion, being out there, you hadn't put on equipment, probably in 2 months. How was that experience on the field? And did you embrace the fact that, hey, man, we got a lot of eyes on us at this event. It's time for us to show up and show out.
Yes, it definitely at times made me nervous, but I took that nervous energy and just changed it to let's have fun. I'm out here. This is my not my only chance to showcase my skills, but it could probably possibly be my last chance showcasing my skills. So I just instead of just being nervous, walking around nervous, I decided, okay, just ease up, have fun, do what you can, do what you came here to do. Like showcase your skills, be an athlete, play ball. We've been playing this sport since little league, so it just definitely helped me get rid of my my nervousness, man. I'm nervous right now, but it just helps. Having fun helps get rid of nervous, and then it helps with anxiety too. Also, mental health is definitely becoming a bigger thing that we need to talk about within sports, college, pro. But I think that's a aspect that people could look at, just turning nervous energy into having fun, because it helps
It,
me out a lot.
it's funny you bring that up because I'm a broadcaster, so I'll
Hmm.
call a lot of games. A lot of games I do a lot of Morgan State games. I do a lot of Monmouth games. I do a lot of Georgetown games. And anytime again, I've done hundreds of games, hundreds of broadcasts. We're on a TV show now. I've done thousands of TV shows, right? But it
Right.
doesn't. No matter how many shows or games I've done, whenever we lead up to it's about to start and go live, it's
Yeah.
always a little bit of nervousness, man. It's like football, man.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you play football
always.
your life, and that kickoff comes, you're like, oh, here we go. But once you get that first hit, once you get the first
Yep.
carry, it goes back to, all right, I've done this 1,000 times.
I've
Let's
done this
go.
1,000 times. Let's have fun. Exactly.
So don't be afraid, man. Even though this is the most watched TV show in TV show history. So I don't know. You got millions of people watching. So no, I was just joking, man. But also wanted to ask you, building on that, you played at Hampton. Your head coach Robert Prunty is a fantastic coach. How
Yes.
big was it to play at Hampton, and how much do you feel like playing under Coach Prunty and playing at Hampton kind of helped prepare you for what you're going to see now at the NFL level?
Playing for Coach P was definitely a honor. I mean, just besides him being a coach, he's definitely a man of God, and that was more of his focus. And that was actually good because he was focused on us getting a better relationship with God, reading the Bible, coming together as brothers, and that's actually what made the team closer. That's actually what made us lean on each other more and actually have more fun and just being there. It's just great camaraderie. Like it's great positive energy playing for Coach P, and I thank him for letting me come there and play for him and accepting me on the position change and everything else like that. Um, Great coach, great defensive line coach. He knows a lot. He's definitely a legend and a Hall of Famer soon to come.
It's fascinating because when I ask this next question, I'm usually asking it toward guys that have, the experience of just playing one position. So I'll be interested to see what your take is here. But when you think about, playing offensive line, then playing defensive line, who are some of the guys you've been watching, to say like, all right, I'm going to take pieces of their game and add it into mine?
A person that I actually that inspired me to play defensive line was O'Shane Zimenez. He plays for the Giants now. He was a great teammate. Another teammate of mine that inspired me to play defensive line is Marcus Haynes. He's currently at Old Dominion right now. Another person, he's actually entering this draft is Isaac Weaver. He played offensive line. I always, as an offensive lineman, I always wanted to be like him. I was like, he a great dude. He played left tackle all the way through to right tackle and center. Like it's just crazy. Like good dude, great technique. He's all about technique and everything. I hope to see him on the team. But those three guys actually inspired me to stay in the trenches. They helped me out a lot just by watching them, and they don't even know it.
Funny you bring up Isaac Weaver. I spoke with Isaac Weaver before, and I told him like, man, I was impressed at how you were able to come in as a freshman and play right
Right.
away and
And
be
right away.
good. And so it ties into your Old Dominion background because you did start your career at ODU and going
Yes.
to an HBCU. What were some of the things that kind of surprised you about playing at an HBCU and playing for one as prestigious as Hampton? Because I feel like a lot of people they know on the periphery of HBCU football, but you were
hmm
actually in it and seeing both sides of it. What was your takeaway from playing HBCU football?
Um, it's no difference. Like, especially for the athletic ability and talent, it is no difference. I say the only difference is media coverage and actually giving those guys at the HBCU a chance. That's the only difference. Because when it comes down to playing football, talent wise, speed, strength, it's all there. It's all there at HBCUs, and the only difference is media coverage. I promise you, if you give those guys media coverage, if you send the scouts there, you're going to find guys every game, every game. There's
And
athletes all over.
and you guys showed up and showed out throughout the All-Star game circuit. And it was a pleasure to watch you down there in New Orleans do your thing in the trenches, man. Listen, I appreciate you taking time, James, and we wish you the best of luck moving
Thank
forward.
you, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Thank you. Appreciate you.